Hey guys, so I've already taken all my makeup off and got ready for bed, and I was sitting here doing my reading that I do for the night. Right now I'm reading John C. Maxwell's Developing the Leader Within You. It's been a really good book so far. I will admit the first part of it was pretty deep, and I had to take a lot of notes like for it to absorb, and I normally am pretty good with comprehension, but it's really good stuff. But I thought each day I would do a video about what I was learning in hopes that it could help you as well. I know that I have watched videos of other people who's going through things on their own, and I wouldn't have even thought about that on my own until I heard them say it. And so then I started thinking about it, started dwelling on it, and I decided that I did want to learn more for myself. So that is my hopes for you. If you're not currently doing personal development, I hope that these videos each night will kind of encourage you to do that. It has been such a life changer for me. Being stuck for years, always quitting, never following through with something, didn't understand why the road wasn't easy. And it's just that I understood I have a lot of areas that I needed to grow. And it's not hard to grow, but it does take some time. It takes some learning things that you've never learned before. But it's definitely worth it to feel like you are in control of some things. And I'm not trying to take anything away from God, because I know that we're not in control of our own lives. I know that. But I do believe that God wants for us to grow. He wants for us to learn His Word and grow that way. He wants for us to become Christ-like. And to do that, we have to work on developing our character. And, of course, I believe the Bible is the first choice to go to. But I also believe that He inspires these other authors with information that we can take and we can learn and we can apply. So today I wanted to talk about problems. Everybody has them. I have them. You have them. Some people have a whole lot more than others. But in my reading this book from John C. Maxwell, Developing the Leader Within You, he talks about problems are not problems unless we look at them as problems. On page 88 in this book, I wanted to read this to you because it was profound. I was actually on the phone just a few minutes ago talking with someone about some problems that I was having. And they encouraged me, and that's great. We all need people like that that's going to encourage us in our life. But here's what I read, and it gave me a whole new appreciation for what I was going through. It says, a wise philosopher once commented that an eagle's only obstacle to overcome for flying with greater speed and ease is the air. Yet, if the air were withdrawn and the proud bird were to fly in a vacuum, it would fall instantly to the ground, unable to fly at all. The very moment that offers resistance to flying, that very element that offers resistance to flying, is the same element that gives it the condition to fly. The main obstacle that a power boat has to overcome is the water against the propeller. Yet if it were not for this same resistance, the boat could not move at all. The same law, that obstacles are conditions of success, hold true in human life. A life free of all obstacles and difficulties would reduce all possibilities and powers to zero. Eliminate problems and life loses its creative tension. The problem of mass ignorance gives meaning to education. The problem of ill health gives meaning to medicine. The problem of social disorder gives meaning to government. And it goes on and on, and it's really great stuff. I'm not going to read it all. But it says, it pointed out that in the United States, cotton was the only thing that was being grown back in 1910. And the boll weevil crossed from Mexico to America and destroyed all the cotton fields. And because of that, they had to learn to grow soybeans and peanuts, and they learned to use their land for cattle and hogs and chickens. And had it not been for the problem of the boll weevil, then they would have never have learned those other things. And of course, we depend on all of that stuff today. So how great it was that that problem come into play, that it offered solutions to so many other things. If we take our problems, we all have problems. Some of us have more than others. But instead of looking at them problems and saying, Why do I have to go through all this? Why do I have all these problems and other people don't? If we turn that around and we said, because of all these problems, I have got a greater learning ability. I have learned to deal with more than most people have. It gives you strength and it gives you power that you didn't have before. You know, everything that I have went through in my life, you know, through a miscarriage, through we've almost lost our house, you know, to the marriage problems, to all of that stuff. Do I wish that I could have the knowledge now that I did then without going through it? Absolutely. But I have learned to be a better person. My character has changed. Had it not been for us going through and almost losing our house, I don't think that I would be as willing to help people as what I am now. I don't think I would be as generous or as humble. Had it not been for the marriage problems, you know, I would have dismissed anybody that had any trouble instead of being compassionate and sincere toward them. Had it not been for having a miscarriage and losing a baby, I wouldn't be able to relate to people who have lost a child. You know, so whatever it is that you're going through right now, instead of looking at it as your pitfall, look at it as your strength. You have got something that is giving you enormous ability, enormous strength. So take hold of that, think on that, chew on that. Really get this book. It's great. Even if you're not a leader per se, it's really good about teaching you your thought patterns and paying attention to what you think. So I hope that was profound for you as it was for me. So now those little problems that I was talking about earlier, I'm going to look at that as more steam in my boat. And I'm going to get out there and I'm going to bust it because I've got strength now. And, you know, whatever comes my way tomorrow, I'm going to thank God for it. And He tells us in His Word, in all things give thanks. But I don't think I had wrapped my mind around the concept until I had just read this. So, hope that was great for you. I hope you get the book and you enjoy it. Like I said, work on personal development. It is a great feeling. Yeah, we see all these things we need to fix about ourselves. And normally we just sit around and we sulk and we feel bad about it. But whenever you've got a checklist and you're working on it, it really does give you a whole new meaning to wake up every day. All right, y'all have a great night.